Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and I'm pretty pissed off right now. So, Iron Sights 3, Capture or Kill at the printers. Um, and, we're lots of emails back and forth. So, I mentioned, hey, also print Iron Sights 1 and 2. And they're like, can you send that to us again? We don't have it. The problem is, when I started with this company, printing a lot of stuff, and they would always retain it. It was like right there. So like every time I went to print another book, I could say reprint 250 of this, 500 of this, whatever, 1,000 of this. And then, and this was like the first like real printers, not like print on demand, but actual dedicated comic book printing. It was the same people who did I think it's definitely Image. And it wasn't all of the Marvel, but it was some of the Marvel, and I think some DC. And like they had a dedicated comic book crew. Great bunch of people. And then SJW era and sales are going down, whatever. So they shut that down, switched me to another printer. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna migrate everything. They're like, yeah. But then they migrated like half of the things. And now I'm on the third one. Or maybe it's the fourth. Because I used to be able to check. I used to be able to go to this, I forget what it was called. It was the approval. When you're looking at, the whole book assembled. And each individual page. And even like the trim and all that type of stuff. But now, this one doesn't even have that option. You just they're like, oh, just send a PDF. I'm like, oh my gosh. So like the amount of oversight I have is just like, it's basically completely blind. And now they're like, we don't have that. Apparently they don't have, this isn't like assuming, like this has been like dozens of emails over multiple years. And now it's all, so now it's like, what's the point of even working with this printer if they're not going to retain anything? I have to start from scratch every single time I want to do a reprint. So the next few campaigns are going to be like, here's the book, there's one cover, there's no add-ons until all this stuff is ironed out. And there's there's several things that are about ready to that LAX, that should be ready to go to print. And I'm talking about new stuff. So I was all happy scrappy to do this review because it's a good comic and kind of ruined my day. But this is The New Gods 7. This one, I believe, has the most of the artist everyone likes, which is Evan Cagle. So there's only 3 pages that aren't by him, and it's the first 3, which is just really weird. Typically, when there's an artist who can't finish a book, it's the last few pages. But no, for this one, it was the first 3. But when I got to the credits here, it was like Evan Cagle, artist, guest artist, pages 1 through 3. I was like, oh gosh, he did all but the first 3. So this is a refugee story with the they call them the New Genesians, the New Gods. They have to go to Earth as well as the people of Apocalypse, and so basically they get detected. The Justice League goes out to meet them, and then ICE, essentially the DEO. Please look at the screen. This is so good. This reminds me of the style of, if you ever look at like a dollar bill, you'll see all these lines to create like depth and shadow. This, even like all these swirls, like this is freaking, even just these crazy swirls right here. Man, this guy is a good artist. As many pages as you can get out of him, let's do that. Ideally, I would like it to be all, but that monthly grind is no joke. But yeah, so there's multiple factions. There's New Genesis, Apocalypse. There's Spoiler, DEO, Max Lord, and Justice League, all trying to deal with this event. And again, just please look at the screen. Just look how cool everything. Man, this guy is a fantastic artist. So one of the things I liked about this is it's a refugee story, and there's obviously refugee stories in the news right now. But it's not done in, I mean, it obviously leans one way, but it has multiple heroes having multiple reactions to the scenario. So, like I said, fantastic art. The Here's the funny thing. Like I said, I'm trying not to think about culture war idiots, but you know, it happens. So you think about like, what would they want? And what they would want is what I thought was going to happen, and I'm glad it didn't. And that it looked like this was going to be like a, what do they say? Kick the can down the road type of situation. And no, it wasn't. Like it looked like it was going to be, and then one person just made a decision. They're like, that's enough of that. And that's how stories happen. Again, I'm trying to wean myself off of culture war stuff, but whenever these culture warriors talk about what they wish a story would be, there's like no elevation, no twists. It's just the male heroes are respected and everything is fine. And that's not what stories are. That might be what you want your life to be, but that's not an interesting story. So like I said, multiple factions, some of whom are covert, and just even within the groups, different points of view. This is what stories are made of. But anyway, so it's so funny. The good reviews are like, what is this, like 3.5 minutes? Oh, 7 minutes. What was it? Did I go into a fugue state? I thought it was like, I did a review of G.I. Joe and it was like less than 4 minutes. But yeah, good issue. I'm really glad that Evan Cagle drew most of it. I wasn't just like totally like, oh no, but when I was like, oh, this is a refugee story, oh, this could get really simplistic and heavy-handed, and it didn't feel like that to me. I really love this. It's not hatching. What is the proper term for the way he uses lines? Because it's not the typical. I mean, it's like typical for like the dollar bill, but it's not typical for American comic books. But anyway, go check it out. New Gods #7. I know my pre-press guy, he always like, he doesn't make a big deal. He's like, oh, don't worry, I have the Adobe, what is it? Not Illustrator. It's the Adobe where you put the book together. He's like, I got that. So we got everything, but it's like, I got to check it. So for me, a reprint, when they lose the archive, it's like all of the work of approving a new book, which is typically where me and my OCD get hemmed up. So not good news. Figure it out, and it might be one of those situations where it's like, here's the new books, blow, and then I will mail the add-ons later. I am getting a handle on the add-ons situation as we go. Anyway, thanks for watching.